We see huge potential in this region, and I think partly because where this region is located strategically and geographically, I think it is very well connected to different parts of the world, Europe, Middle East, obviously Asia, and Turkey and US. So it's a great position to be in from a geographical perspective, but also, as you mentioned, I think part of it is also very much thanks to VARA's policymaking, very forward-looking, very sophisticated when it comes to how to really ensure customer protection, consumer protection, but at the same time, actually sitting down, talking to partners, participants like ourselves, and understand our product, the tech stack, and what are the things that we need to account for when it comes to regulatory framework. So, I think we appreciate that level of sophistication and guidance and engagement from VARA, and I think a lot of the other industry participants also appreciate that. That's why we've seen a huge capital inflow and talent inflow into this region, which I think will position this region well for future competitiveness in the global landscape. The way I see the overall crypto industry, I think there are two compartments, if you will. One part is its net new impact, right? It's things represented by Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana, those first level layer chains. Those are right now being increasingly recognized as new asset classes, particularly Bitcoin, but for a specific reason, because they represent an alternative for people when it comes to how people may have different ways to triangulate the value, whether it's digital gold, whether it's new money system or network globally. There are different ways, but in essence, it's very different from the existing system. It's decentralized, it's transparent, it's on chain, so it's not new. It's potentially creating a new system in parallel that's very different from the current system. So I think that's one part, which I think we're a big believer in it. That's why we continue to build our product, not only on CeFi side, but also more importantly on the self-custody on the wallet side, because we believe that the future is decentralized. I think the other part is not net new, but it's more optimizing the existing financial system. I think stablecoin is falling into that category. It's using on-chain technology to improve and optimize the payment infrastructure, particularly cross-border payment infrastructure. I think real-world assets is also falling into that category, right? It helps increase the operational efficiency, takes away a lot of the intermediary layers, and increase the operational efficiency and settlement speed, and giving financial market participants a lot more operational leverage. So I think on the second part, that's where the traditional financial players like BlackRock and others, they can really play an important role because they already have existing infrastructure. For those who are more forward-looking, who can actually adopt the technology very selectively, I think they can help advancing that optimization narrative and really put it to usage. I think for the first part, it will take time to develop, and it can interact with the traditional financial space. In our example that we've seen, Bitcoin ETF is one way for the two to interact. But at the same time, I think there is also a lot of efforts happening over the last 10 plus years where builders are building within that ecosystem natively, and I think will continue. And that's where we feel like we have a lot more competitive strength. We'll continue to double down in that part, but the two will inevitably interact with each other. And I think I had an interview before Trump went into office, and when I was asked about kind of the similar question, I said, buy the rumor, sell the reality. And I was expecting volatility after he got into the office. But back to your question, I don't think we're doing anything specifically to hedge whatever any specific administration will be doing. I think ultimately we as a builder in the space, I think we need to just focus on building and delivering value to our customers. And for us, a big part of it is understanding customer needs, understanding the ultimate industry trends, and making sure that we're investing in the right infrastructure, be it product infrastructure or organizational infrastructure or licensing infrastructure or talent infrastructure and community. And everything else we just have to learn to be able to adapt. I think that's just, a surviving skill that we as an organization has to develop, whatever happens in any jurisdiction on a political level. And the second, I don't know if I'm answering your question particularly, but I think a big one belief that I do have is that it's very hard to really separate crypto from politics. I think the underlying layer, actually, they are connected because crypto, part of it is technology enhancement and transformation, but also part of it is incentive. It's new way of designing incentives. It's new way of empowering individuals, and that inevitably will have interaction with politics. I do think that a big part of a value proposition that Bitcoin and the rest of the Web3 ecosystem has is to offer people an alternative. And obviously that alternative doesn't come without us building in it. But I do think that with various political and geopolitical uncertainty, more and more people are seeing the value of Bitcoin, the value of Web3, the value of the future we're building. And I think that's what matters more for us, at least within our organization.